Dear Leon C., aka Morpheus, my name is Sandra, and I live on the east side of town in the Americas. I have a question because I've been wondering for quite some time, listening to your videos and studying around the world. I am, for lack of better words, decreasing my ability to accept that there's a such thing as a miracle or great happenings of spectacular events. What I really want to know is, what is your definition, or if you know specifically, of how to break down this thing called a miracle? And have you experienced any miracles that can enlighten me and others? All right, my American people, this is going to be a very interesting audio, as you can surmise by my emailer. Now, I will tell you before I even get started that my email is, it's my business email, of course, available to you for simple answers, okay, or simple questions. Be nice and be short because I get a lot of emails. And to make it even more simpler and easier for me to contact you, okay, when you donate to my Patreon link, which is down there below in this audio, but if it's not down there below, you can always email me and I will send you the link, which makes it easier for me to put you in the priority list because you are my supporter. You are my Patreon. You are my going strength that helps me do what I do. I prioritize you, but that doesn't make anyone else less or my subscribers, because I will still promote, I will still be your counselor and your provider of intellectual and spiritual strength. Okay, so I will still guide you. It's just that it will be much easier for me to make it a priority, especially with the time that I can invest in my own research. So getting on to her question, the miracle. Well, I'm going to tell you something about a miracle. Okay. I would say, I'm going to go ahead and put it all into one. I would say I can call myself being a miracle. I am a miracle, as you know me to be Leon C. Morpheus. Once upon a time, I was just Leon C. But there are some events that have occurred that caused me or promoted and helped me to be Morpheus. And there were several events, and as you, my listeners, know, that there are going to be various questions that's going to come after this. Okay, look like we're going to have another maybe 2 or 3 video series because there's a lot of questions. In the questions, you will receive your answers that most people, even yourself that are listening, may be quite curious about. Okay, I know you've seen the title and it's kind of throwing you off a little bit. What does it have to do with what I'm talking about? Well, I'm getting ready to blow your mind for a moment here. And I myself was a Morpheus. I used to be a beta blue pill type of guy. I was a white knight. I was the one to run to the woman's side regardless if she was wrong or right. I didn't have the right information. I was one of the ones who most MGTOW or red pill men used to talk about. Now, this was, of course, in my youth, although I did study and my red pill came sooner than most. But I've had my moments that have shattered my imaginations and my false expectations. And I'm going to give you an example of one of them that might only be an apparatus or a connection to the full apparatus of many other combinational things. But this is probably going to help a lot of you out. When you understand how you operate in the circle of loving yourself, when you know how to take care of yourself, when you know what to do for you, okay, you should automatically have standards. You should automatically know what's best for you, John, and Jane. So therefore, whoever that you meet have to understand you for you. They have to at least abide by your protocols, your ideas of life, whereas they are respecting you and your boundary. If that does not happen to any degree, usually you could blame yourself, or you can blame your lack of information and your lack of experience in those certain situations with dealing with people. What I have learned constantly, and especially what you may need to understand, and you women, just keep your ears open before you begin to blaze in with emotion. Let's use logic and simple thinking. Let's use rationale with what Morpheus is saying. Let me give you some red pills, my people. Here you go. All right. I already have mine. So that'll just help you to get down to this rabbit hole and get past the simple, common, ignorant thinking the program wants to put upon your mind. So that way, at least calm you down and make you think a little deeper. So we don't need to go into negative comments. Just open your ears. Most women that I have met and that I know of in my own research and have seen for myself, okay, women usually will encounter you with what they already know based on what they have experienced with their ex-boyfriends or what their daddies have taught them as little girls. So therefore, when they come to you, depending on what age that they are and how experienced that they are, okay, they come to you with a baggage already created and designed, okay, that they want you to accept. Okay? These are one of the detailed schematics that most MGTOW and Red Pill talk about when there is a discussion about women who have bad hypergamy or a very long track record and body count of guys who she donkey dunked with, or whatever Instagram modeling or whatever that she have done to give her cookies, I like to call it, her bodies away. Whereas when she meets this guy finally at a certain time of her age or a certain time of her life, okay, that man has no choice but to be the cleanup guy. That's what you men need to understand, and some of you women who attend or want to or is interested in a relationship or making yourself available to men. Okay? We all have those baggages to bring to each other. We all have our own book that's been created already that we want to bring to the person to either accept or be rejected. Okay? Oftentimes, getting back to what I was talking about, having a large record or history, or you could say having a lot of miles on her dial, it doesn't fit with the man that she is trying to get in line with. She doesn't fit well in his life, and of course eventually it will end up a dead relationship, or it will end up as a one night stand, which is typical, too easy, and the lowest frequency that you could expect as a goal. But it happens, and most people are satisfied with it. And getting on to this subject, this is another reason why you don't have any steady relationships as much as you think in dead relationships, because all there is to the quality of a person is just donkey dunking for a night and be done with it. Because there is no collaboration of extended quality based on history, based on not being able to peer bond because they've already peer bond too many times. But one of the bigger things, besides putting that on your mind, rummage on that for a little bit. But to go deeper into this study of these facts that we know of as mature American adults. Okay. For you men, when she is presenting herself to you, she's presenting what she's been through. as herself. So therefore, when you have no standards or tell her your honest requests and desires and choices and whatever principles you may have, gentlemen, okay, then you are accepting her for who she is. You would say that's wrong or that's right. I'm not talking about what's wrong and right. It's just what it is. Okay? Most times you can compromise. Most times you can talk it out. Most times you can discuss what you will accept and what you will not accept. Okay? But too many of you men, okay, too many of us here in America is afraid to draw the line as to what we will and what we will not accept because we just want the color of the bag. We just want the woman. We don't want to neglect her in any degree that will cause us not to have a chance with her. Or for some of you who aren't in constant relationships or don't have a chance to donkey dunk with the best of the best, okay, at least getting one out of the bunch or a few makes you at least satisfied to do whatever that you can just to be with her or to get that good looking bag that she may be. Okay. But unfortunately, oftentimes those relationships are looked for as a steady, more serious relationship. But then you end up running into the glitch of not understanding that she's not really and cannot yet love you the way that you want to be loved or take care of you the way that you want her to, because she's doing it from her standpoint of experience and training. Whatever her ex-boyfriends have done for her or to her, God forbid, that is what you have to deal with. You end up the cleanup guy. You end up picking up the tab for whatever her father put into her mind as a child, whatever her friends put into her mind, whatever her family put into her mind, whatever her churches, whatever she have dealt with in her college years, whatever it is, whatever she think to be true or not true, okay, is what you have to deal with when she says, let's get together, or let's date, or can we be serious? Can we be boyfriend and girlfriend? Or better yet, well, I won't say better. You all know my standpoint of view on this, but for some of you, let's get married. You got to understand, gentlemen, okay, that you must understand that she comes to you with her own brand of love, her own brand of what appreciation is, her own brand of what she thinks a relationship should aspire to be. You as men have to tell her, have to be honest and open and explain what your interpretation of love and compassion or relationship is. As a teacher, as a counselor, as a slash supporter, as a slash brother, as a slash pretty much everything, I've been there and I've sat in too many classes, too many surroundings, too many circles of men, too many men conversations as I'm standing there just listening to them. And I notice that all you do is just go for the gusto, meaning you don't calculate anything. You just accept her for whatever that she has to offer, then you complain later. When she gives you her bad attitude, when she brings to you a lack of understanding, when she is an emotional wreck, if she does come to you and she gives you her interpretation of love, you want to complain about it because she gives you her interpretation of love when she's only doing the best that she can do. She's only doing what she knows to do because you're not telling her or showing her otherwise. If you had a standard as you supposed to, if you knew yourself as a growing teenage boy to a grown adult, okay, then eventually you should know what you aspire to yourself. Okay? Now, the fear of the matter, but actually it's not a fear, but for some of you it may be, because it's a hard road for you to stand up for yourself and actually make principles, okay? But the problem is too many men today, as young men or boys, are raised up by single parent homes. They raised up by women to be told what to expect. They're told how to take care of this woman. They're told what to think and what to say. So therefore, it takes an immense amount of suffering. It takes too long. It takes years of divorce raping, of getting your children taken from you, from being ran over by several buses, in order for you to meet these women and say, okay, this is what I will tolerate and this is what I will not tolerate. Too many of the men around the country, okay, bend over backwards for something that isn't them. This is why I tell you it's not about wrong or right. This isn't judgment. It's not about what she's doing wrong or right. She's just doing what she knows to do. Okay? And oftentimes, because of that, it's just a complete misunderstanding. It's a complete misunderstanding. If she comes to you and you have yourself in order, okay, and you get the information that you should, you're taking MGTOW understanding. It's not lifestyle, understanding, okay? You're taking the red pill. You are learning how to take care of yourself, stay in the gym, stay healthy, read, be spiritual, grow yourself. Then you'll have more confidence in you. And that's a really big thing, having confidence. Okay? Self-esteem is also off the table here in this new generation of feminism and of so-called women liberation. Okay? Because your low self-esteem as men, okay, being kicked around, being purposely put in women power groups that you can't speak out on, or you can't be the masculine male that you are, and definitely being raised by single parent homes, specifically a woman as your mother and pretending to be dad, okay, then your esteem level is only to provide and give anything and everything unto her and her rule, and give yourself nothing, because generally you don't have a male role model. You don't have a father or a red pill or real information that can boast and boost your confidence. So therefore, when you meet women, you're not getting into an argument nor a debate with them. You would just say, this is what I want if you want to be with me. This is what I need if you want a deeper relationship. This is what it has to be if we're going to move forward. Now, speaking of moving forward, I myself do not need to even explain that as much, because the MGTOW, okay, red pill, speaks all those syllables. And when you continue to walk with me in my audios, you will begin to learn more. Okay, it is not about judging any type of individual. It's about getting an understanding. It's about seeing it from the right perspective. Now, I'm not saying that what she does is intentional or not intentional, so don't misunderstand that. Okay, I'm not saying that women are baggage themselves. We all have baggage. Okay, but to help you men and to give you a little bit more strength, okay, and to be your voice and answer your questions, okay, you must understand that when she comes to you, it's not specifically all the time going to be compliant to your lifestyle or to what you expect for things to do or to go. You do have the obligation to write down your measure of expectation and not to accept the expectations of those that have come before you. Okay? So, unto my emailer, getting right back to you. It seemed like I went on a rant, but I didn't. The miracle, in fact, was that I was one of the gentlemen who had to learn the hard way. As what I've just explained, I've accepted all sorts of baggage. I've been one of the ones, yes, before Morpheus, when I was in the Matrix, when I was sucking off the machine and the machine was sucking my energy out for me to be an organic battery. I gave a lot of myself away. I had low self-esteem. I didn't have as much confidence in myself, so I had to learn the hard way. I took the slow way up the mountain on the other side, and as I have made it to the top and transformed into Morpheus by breaking away from the Matrix, I have been able to see all and every other type of man and individual in similar situations, if not worse. Okay? And then when you surmise it, it's just the fact that your mind is off. Your unconsciousness is asleep. Your logical thoughts aren't being reached or activated because your emotional thoughts and feelings, okay, becomes the forerunner, which distracts and becomes a distortion. So I would say that there is forms of miracles. Miracles still exist. It still exists. But to bring about a miracle, sometimes things have to be laid to waste. Sometimes there have to be suffering first. Sometimes that ball has to bounce completely down to the bottom of the valley in order for it to bounce higher. Too many times we think that miracles are just things that just happen because it just happened. Normally, that's not really the case. There is cause and effect. There is people that you talk to that may open up doors to you. Opportunities may come to you because you are in the right place at the right time with the right attitude and with the right mind. Miracles are also what you determine your miracle to be, which is typically inside yourself, not outside of you. The miracle is you. The miracle is what you know yourself to be. The miracle is when you can reflect on the times when you were weak, homeless, powerless, and distraught and suffering, and now here you are, you stand strong. Some of you might have your job now. You got your car now. You're living now. You got your house now. You have succeeded through your college years that seemed like you would never survive. Okay, you've seen car wrecks right in front of you where those organic matters, okay, was decimated. All right. You have seen train wrecks. You have witnessed things that were around you. You witnessed near death's experiences, but yet you still sit here alive. Okay. Now, I'm not going to get into the conversation of God choosing you versus them. Okay. That's going to come in my other audio logs. Again, just be patient. I will explain all to you. Trust me, I will. So the relevance is very, very simple. Yes, miracle exists, but it's what you determine it to be. Should you appreciate your life a little more? Should you start to love yourself and see what your internal principles and values are? Okay, then the doors will begin to open up for you. Then you'll be able to see the sky and the unicorn and the uniqueness that nature and life itself have chosen you to be. Okay? That doesn't mean that your standards and your principles are harsh or that you are controlling or that you have low confidence or you have no standards. It means that you do have a standard. That means you have boundary and a constitution to yourself. When you don't have constitution, when you don't create boundaries, when you just accept whatever comes your way, then you are in for a world of destruction. That means you accept whatever is made for you and it's not made from you. Most things work out well when you make it. You design it. You put your name on it and your stamp because it's from you. It's going to identify itself with you. It's going to identify itself with what you stand for and whatever longevity that you require. So it's going to have a very low failure rate and a very high successful rate because it's all about, generally it has your genetics, it has your standards. Okay? So therefore in that, you will see your miracle and you will see your advancement of self and strength. And therefore you won't be paraded around as a follower or puppet. You'll become a leader of your own and begin taking control of your life. Because people don't mean to bring negative baggage to you. People don't mean to be baggage themselves, if that ever was the case. Okay? But it will be straightened out and the baggage will be left at the door if you tell them, okay, I don't want your baggage in my house. There's no room for that. Okay? You leave that out the door if you want to come in here. There's no room for that. And then perhaps you will begin to see a change, not only in yourself and your standards, because now whatever relationship that you get into, you would have a better trajectory of success. Okay. But also those people, if their baggage is one of misunderstanding or one that was misled by the previous ex-boyfriends and fathers and guys or whoever else, okay, it can be straightened out by facts and truth. And then they'll begin to understand that not every man is the same. Okay, not every man is going to tolerate anything. Not every man is going to be this way. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and end this audio log, and I pretty much explained that half to you, and there's going to be more audio for you. So just sit back and just listen and learn.